working with Elvis was great. When you sit down and talk to Elvis, because we had a lot of times when we were recording and when we were doing his 1968 special, to sit around and talk, and found out that Elvis really loved gospel music. And one story that he told us was years ago when he was a young man in the South. He'd go by black churches and stand at the window and listen to them, because back in those days, didn't nobody have air conditioning. And so all the windows in the church were up. So he could stand there and listen and, just gravitate to the music that was coming out of that window. And when he met me, the Blossoms and the Sweet Inspirations, he found a common ground to work with. He found out he could sing gospel just like we could. So it was fantastic.
Got a woman way old town. She's good to me. Yes, I have.
Yeah, I was so excited when we got the call to go do a Bobby Darin session. We had no idea what kind of session it was going to be until we got there. And he told us he was going to do a tribute to Ray Charles. And we figured, right, because we know Bobby Darin has one of those kind of voices. He could sing anything. And when he got there, it was great, because once he started singing Ray Charles, we just got right into the groove with him. And it was great for me because I got a chance to do some of the Ray Charles, as we call it, the Raylett's licks, their runs that they do. So it was very exciting working with him. Apollo was amazing because Apollo had a history of the greatest and the best and the finest singers appeared at the Apollo. And to go after a lot of those singers that was there before me, the history alone make you go, man, I'm standing in the same spot these great, great entertainers stood in. Marvin Gaye was one of those kind of guys that I wish I was one of the girls, or the Blossoms wish we were the singers that actually backed him up on records. Because we got a chance to work with Marvin when we were on the road. When I first went out on the road, Marvin was with us. I mean, when you did a show, it was maybe 10 or 20 acts on a bill. Just go out there and do your hits and go off the stage. And Marvin went out to sing Hitchhike and all those great songs that he did in the early days. And we asked him, do you have your background singer singing behind you? He said, no, I just do it myself. We said, oh, we'll stand backstage, give us a mic, and we'll sing the background for you. So it was great to be able to work with him, especially in the early days, because he was smooth. He just had that kind of voice that everybody, and Marvin Gaye, his looks and everything just made you, I won't say that word, that just came to my mind. But love to be in his presence. I think that was that made the Blossoms unique. We didn't realize it at the time, but we all came from different parts of singing. Fanita had a soft, sweet voice. I had one of them rough, growly voices, and Gloria was in between. And so together, we all had this sound. Whatever the record producers wanted, we could give them that. And it wasn't too much. We didn't have to sound real country or real soulful. We just had to have the sound of doing it. And I think that's what made us unique.
There's no welcome look in your eyes.
Now, the amazing thing about doing Shindig, the producer was from London. And they did not want 3 black ladies singing on that show because it was still the early mid-60s, and they wasn't so sure that if that show went national, if they would accept 3 black women singing on television. Well, just to tell you what they know, they didn't know. So the producer told them, well, if you don't want my girls, I'll take my show somewhere else. And we did make history as 3 black girls singing nationally every week on a television show, which was amazing. At the time, when you're making history, you don't realize it until much later, and then people tell you, you guys made history.
Everything's
It was great. A lot of people probably don't remember the song Zippity Doo Dah that we did when we were Phil Spector. That was one of those kind of songs that you say, you're going to do what? Zippity Doo Dah. And you go in the studio and you start doing it. It has one of the best instrumental guitars in Zippity Doo Dah. And when we were getting ready to do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they said they noticed there was a guitar on the stage. And when it was my turn to sing, they noticed that Bruce Springsteen appeared on stage. He said he had to do that solo part in Zippity Doo Dah, and therefore he stayed on to do Run Run and the other songs that I was singing. Which is, you know, when you have that kind of people come to you and they want to play with you and appear with you on stage, it's really it's such an honor, really. Paul had a whole lot to do with it because how this all began, I was working at the Bottom Line doing a show called Leader of the Pack, and Paul Schaefer played Phil Spector in the show, and he got David to come down and see the show. One night on the David Letterman show, he told Paul, you know that song that girl sings in that show that you're doing down now? That's the greatest Christmas song I've ever heard. We need to get her on my show. And from that day, which is 1986, I've been on this show every year, singing Christmas Baby, Please Come Home. But this year was really something great. I actually did another song, Lean on Me, this year. And after we got through singing it, David went, wow, that's better than church.